Nixon tried to buy off the Democrats. Oh, he spent like a liberal. He borrowed like a liberal. He created the EPA. He created OSHA. He really created, in an aggressive way, affirmative action. He did so many things he thought would mollify the Democrats, but they hated him. They hated his guts. They hated his guts since the day he was in the House of Representatives on the Un-American Affairs Committee and helped expose Alger Hiss. They hated him when he won the Senate seat in California against Douglas, who was a lefty, having called her a red. They hated Nixon. They just despised him. And Nixon, he would spend. He would give them what they want. He would try. It was never enough. They would pocket what he gave them, and then they'd move on. And they'll do exactly the same thing to Donald Trump. You think a $1 trillion spending bill is going to settle Schumer and Pelosi down? You think it's going to quiet their base? You think they give a damn? They want the presidency, they want the House, and they want Congress. And they want the Supreme Court. And they want Donald Trump in prison, if not impeached. And same with the people around him. If they can get them on scandals, they're going to get them on scandals. This isn't about buying off the Democrats and getting 64 Democrats in the Senate. Of course you can get 65 or 64 Democrats in the Senate if you spend $1 trillion. Guess what? Spend $5 trillion. You might get 100 of them out of there. So what? What will that do to the country? He's got it exactly wrong. Make your case to the American people the way Reagan did. Be persuasive. Do it day in and day out. They never explained this health care bill because it was ridiculous. It was a monstrosity. Explain what your objective is. Spend the time now to explain it. More health care for more people, more choice for more people, truly driving down costs, truly driving down the deductibles. And explain how you're going to do it in simple words with a simple program. They can't do it because they don't believe it. Because there's too many Republicans who want Obamacare, who want massive Medicaid for their states, who want all these other gimmies. They're the ones who should be focused on. They're the ones who should be attacked. But let's bring this back to the beginning. I want to remind you on recently uncovered video by Conservative Review of what Paul Ryan said just 14 months ago. Go.
It's no surprise that someone named Obama vetoed a bill repealing Obamacare. And we will hold a vote to override this veto, taking this process all the way to the end under the Constitution. But here's the thing. The idea that Obamacare is the law of the land for good is a myth. This law will collapse under its own weight, or it will be repealed. Because all those rules and procedures Senate Democrats have used to block us from doing this, that's all history. We have shown now that there is a clear path to repealing Obamacare without 60 votes in the Senate. So next year, if we're sending this bill to a Republican president, it will get signed into law. Obamacare will be gone. And then, for all the people who have seen their premiums go up, for people who have lost their plan or their doctor, for people who have to deal with all the mandates, the restrictions, and the red tape, we can replace this law with a truly patient-centered healthcare system. It's just a matter of time.
Did you hear all this? Now, we've uncovered a piece from January 2011, not that long ago, after the Republicans took back the House thanks to you. Paul Ryan goes to the floor of the House and says, in part, the following. Go.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to begin by saying why we're doing this. And I want to get into the accounting of all of this at a later time in this debate. But let me just simply say why we are here. We are here because we heard the American people in the last election. We are here because we believe it's really important to do in office what you said you would do. We said we would have a straight up or down vote to repeal this health care law, and that's precisely what we are doing here today. Now, Mr. Speaker, why do we believe this? Because this health care law, if left in place, will accelerate our country's path toward bankruptcy.
Anyway, that's enough. So he goes on about why Obamacare is bad, but notice what he said. We're sending a bill to repeal it. Now, we could sit here and play probably half a dozen clips of President Trump during the campaign saying essentially the same thing. Essentially the same thing in the run-up and through the general election. I'm not talking about when he supported single payer and all the rest of it. I'm talking about more recently. All this, as we say in Yiddish, mishigas. All this, as we say as Americans, crap about, oh, we're going to do this and save this one, and this one can be here, and this one can be there. Did anybody tell you that during the course of this campaign? They said repeal, and we'll replace it with the best healthcare system you've ever seen, the greatest system you've ever seen. We had the greatest system anyone had ever seen. Big government keeps destroying it. Now, we're going to stay on top of this. I don't care if I'm the only guy in major media, of the top radio hosts, whatever it is. I don't care. We are not going to fold like cheap tents around here and suddenly buckle under to what's going to become, I fear, now a big push for more and more big government from Republicans and Democrats alike. Because if you listen to what's been said over the weekend and today, and if you've been reading the tweets of certain key individuals, including the president, we're going to be fighting hard now against big government. Tax cuts or no tax cuts? Tax cuts or no tax cuts? You heard Gingrich? It's time to spend like wild liberals. Reince Priebus over the weekend? I think we may have to work with Democrats on our tax cut bill, an attack on conservatives. And I think it's going to get worse. Oh, they'll throw us a bone every now and then. I hope that's not the case, but I think it is the case. And we're going to be ready. And we're going to fight because we have no choice. That's it.